Hello and welcome to another Glorious Read. I am your host, Afternoon Sage. Let's get into it. First off, happy Friday, everybody. I know I'm a little late and behind schedule posting this, but it is what it is. Nobody's perfect. With the holidays, everything gets hectic, and then, you got the Christmas wrapping to do and the presents to buy, and it's just a lot of headaches and cooperation and lack of sleep. But we all go there. Only December 6th, but I've been slacking. The only thing I got done for my Christmas and my Yule is decorating outside. I have not decorated inside. I haven't done my candles yet. I haven't even got a Christmas tree. I'm falling behind. Wicked. I did manage to get most of my presents wrapped. I still have presents to buy, still presents to make, but I am getting there slowly. It's kind of hard to find a balance between everything, between the writing of the books, the shop I'm running, making things for the shop, coming up with new ideas, trying new crafts, and making sure I read these books. Because I do enjoy reading. I make sure I at least read like 3 hours a night. Because, again, doom scrolling is not fun. I don't like it. I will admit, though, I doom scroll on book things, obviously, and fantasy stuff, and creative things. So YouTube is my biggest getter, and so is Instagram. I will literally watch things on things about these things I create. And honestly, guys, if you need something for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever other celebrations you celebrate, you should definitely check out small businesses and the stuff they create, because some of the stuff is completely amazing. Like the anxiety bookcases or shelves, those are awesome. I really want one. I saw the other day was pretty cool. Was the it was somebody taking their craft room and making it into a fantasy land. I really want one just to be my own little hideout, because every adult needs their own little space. Gamers need their game room, readers need a library, crafters need their own special area. I get that. I do. I would seriously love my own little fantasy space, like trees and moss, so I can grow plants and stuff. So I can do my crafting and I can do my, whatever I want in that special place and not be in the way of other people. I mean, I would literally love a workshop where I could do like my woodworking and my candle making and my sewing and whatever other crafts I do, because I do a lot. Like I just ordered stuff to make goat milk lotion, because I do have two does that are milking currently, and they give me so much milk that I cannot keep up with it. I do make soap with it, so I did order that kind of product too to get that going, and then I gotta order more scents. It is just so much. I do love it. Again, I grew up in the generation that if you didn't do something, you were considered lazy. So everybody gets that who is from my generation. You were told that you needed to get up and do something, or you rushed to get your chores done, kind of thing, because if you didn't, then you were lazy. That's probably why I'm an overachiever. Anyway, I did try to attempt to make a wallet. It was a fail, but it's a learning experience, so hopefully, again, I will make a better one. So that's planning to be hopefully a Christmas gift for somebody special in my life. Anyway, so yeah, Christmas is coming. The days are counting down, then the weeks. But enough of that. Let's get into the book review. So last week we talked about the Ruthless Savage by Leanne Harris, and this time I am doing book number 2, The Brutal Savage, what is Iru's brother, who's Tyan. Tyan is supposed to be the oldest son. He is supposed to be next in line, and his father has been getting on his case about getting married. He wants nothing to do with it whatsoever. The man has tried everything he can to, get out of this whole situation and just take over the family business, being part of the Irish Mafia. Well, Mr. Quinn is also the father or guardian of a young boy named Brody, whose parents were, his father was killed, his mother committed suicide. It's a very sad story. The boy stopped talking, and Mr. Quinn has basically tried everything he can to get this boy to talk and smile. Well, he noticed over the last few while that a new teacher, substitute teacher, has made Brody start smiling. And he's like, oh, okay, you have my interest. Our main female character, Alara, is on the run, kind of like the first story with Devlin being part of a gang. Alara is actually trying to hide from an ex. This ex was part of a different gang, something called the Eights. So she's on the run. She changed her name because Alara is, yeah, that's not her real name. It's actually Evelyn or Elena, something like that. They call her Eve, but she's hiding from this ex. And so Mr. Quinn takes a very interest in her, trying to find everything. And he's like, why is she squeaky clean? That's awfully suspicious. But yet I am very drawn to this woman. Because he's drawn to her, he comes up with this harebrained scheme of, I'm going to get close to her. And the only thing she's worried about is hiding from her ex and taking care of her grandparents. So Mr. Quinn has come up to the notion that he's going to offer her more money to take care of her sick grandfather and her grandmother, yet have more money to tutor Brody because Brody is very attached to her. Mr. Quinn also gets Brody a dog, what ends up being like a little tiny thing. And it makes him smile, so he's like, please, just get one of the bigger dogs. And of course, the dog's name is Bubbles. What Tynan is not very fond of. He's like, what kind of man am I to have a dog named Bubbles that runs the Irish Mafia? Anyway, so Elia is, she's taken back by it. She's like, oh, I don't know about that, but she's very drawn to this man. And it comes down to she does end up substituting, or not substituting, but tutoring Brody part-time. And of course, Mr. Quinn keeps getting closer and closer to the point where the man is asking her to marry him out of a business proposal. He's like, you have your freedom, you have money, never have to worry about anything, you can still work. He goes, it's a loveless marriage. It's literally just, proposal for basically to help me get the head of the family. He goes, we will be intimate and we will have children together, but that's it. And she's like, you're crazy. This man literally kidnaps her in the middle of the night when she goes to run, and they get married. And she's like, well, this is my life now, and now I have to plan on running again from a different way. He knows about it, of course. He's like, good luck with that. They soon start to go together. They're starting to definitely be more intimate. The spice level in the beginning of the book is very low. I definitely give it a 3. As we go on, you find out more and more about Mr. Quinn, including him being pierced down below. And of course, she quite enjoys it. So as the book goes on, they're starting to realize that they have feelings for each other. And of course, as this is going on, Tynes is trying to do a deal with the Russians for firearms. And he's also trying to connect to this woman and finding out what her past is like. He finds out that she's got a nasty scar across her abdomen. And he finds out it's because of something that happened in her past, and he wants basically her ex-boyfriend's head. He says, I'll protect you no matter what, and I will end him. But come to find out, Eleanor is traumatized because her mother was murdered by her father. She killed her father because her ex basically was part of it. And she found out that, or Tyne found out that she was smuggling drugs to basically keep her grandparents alive. It's not a very pretty description of what happened. I do feel bad for her. And of course, he is now on a murder strike. He's like, as soon as I find this bastard, he's gonna die. In real, I'm like, yes, burn the world for her, please. This poor woman needs it. She is a Spitfire. He likes to call her a little serpent because she likes to bite back. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, as much as I want him to burn the world for her, I'm like, please just bite him. Like, he needs to get a good ass kicking, please. He's constantly telling her to spend their money, and so she does, and she buys ugly yellow suits and stuff for him to get under his skin. So it keeps being they prank each other back and forth, and like I said, they keep coming together. near the end of the book, um, it definitely takes a turn because there's secrets that come out, there's betrayals, and then there's a near-death experience. So this book is definitely a whole whirlwind of twisting and twining. Um, it's a lot like the first book. It does run more on the darker romance side, I think. It's definitely more possessive. Um, but it's also very family oriented. It's a really lot of family bondings make stronger connections, especially with the Quinn family being the Russian mob or the Irish mob. Um, and so I finished that book, and apparently there's another one coming out in May, and I have to wait for that one because that's also going to be one of Eru's and Tyn's brother. Um, Near the end of the book, he saves a girl from being abused or something like that. Or mistreated, domestic violence, and he basically is like, hey, I know I just rescued you and we just met each other, but my brother's getting married, you want to come? And of course you hear a lot of the first characters in the first book come. You hear about Devlin and Eru, and you also hear about the Russian guy that caused all the problems. He's like, I do anything for my friends, we're all good. He's kind of like that side character that you kind of want to hate, but you kind of love him because he's just funny. He's always there, and he's just one of those characters you gotta love. Like how I was reading the Liking series, he was kind of like the character you're like, I want to know your story, but I'm gonna wait. So yeah, this book, total, I will give it a 5. It is a good read. Spice level is definitely a 4 because once they start, they definitely kept going. Because he was very determined to get her pregnant, and she's just like, this is a loveless sex, okay? He's like, yep, totally agree. And then they admitted feelings to each other. They were like, nope, I love you and you love me, and we're gonna actually get married and do things right. In the book, Brody does start talking. I'm not gonna tell you when, and it's good to see him finally not overcome his trauma, but completing himself again. Um, but definitely in the book, I said say the female main character is hilarious. I love her. She's very her heart's in the right place, and she's just so spicy. Like not even like sexy spicy, like she wants to, well, she does do that a lot to him, but more of the I'm gonna kick your ass. I don't think so. Like she's very like, let's keep this professional, Mr. Quinn. But yeah, she's just like, don't tempt me or I will poison your coffee. She's that kind of woman. I love her, and he's just like, I love it when you foreplay kind of thing. It's just so funny. And she goes, oh, right, I am now the wife of the head of the Irish Mafia. Great, this is my life now. I went from outrunning my ex of the gang to becoming the Irish mob wife. Wonderful. And of course, he's like, well, you have standards you got to keep up with now. We'll be going to events and charities. And that's another thing is they played prank on him where she says that they did a donation to like a erectile dysfunction place, and he's in front of like this big mob thing or mob meeting, and they're like snickering at him. And he goes, oh, yes, dear, I love you. And he's like, you, by the way, you're going to pay back for that. And he does get her back at the Russian's birthday party. Um, so it's definitely a really great book. I definitely read it. I'd read it again, to be honest with you. It's definitely a book I would recommend. Um, and I can't wait for the next one. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I still have other books that I do want to read, and we are going back to the Hell's Night series. This is book number 3. This is the one with Carl, the bear shifter. I just started it yesterday, so I don't have much on it yet. All I know is it's a not a divorced woman, but a woman who had an alpha and he's no longer there, and something about her boys being taken. I don't know much about it yet, other than it started off with her drinking vodka and pickle juice. So it's a very interesting start. And like I said, there's other books I want to do read. I'm hoping to get through this one quite fast, so I have a 2-book review for you guys next week. And then, like I also said, guys, Christmas is coming, so things are going to get a little bit more difficult on the podcast stuff. I do want to recommend still going out and getting yourself something nice. Maybe decorate your home. I know I want to put some like candles in my room, or in the windows, and I also want to put some wreaths and make some nice arrangements and stuff and decorate the whole house. I also want to make sure that everybody has the best Christmas. I know that I'm going to try to find a really nice sweet recipe for, Christmas Day, maybe. Either way, I'm going to try to spend as much time as I can with friends and, of course, my little family, and just keep writing and reading. Other than that, I don't want to be disturbed. But we all want to have those days. And like I said also before, keep crafting different things. Like I said, I just tried creating a wallet. I do want to keep up with my stained glass I've tried getting back into. There's a lot of stuff on my plate, and I don't regret it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I could go and get more crafts and start new projects, and I know I shouldn't. It's wicked bad. My brain always does that. But I'm also working on my other books. I'm working on my Daniel's Aries and my other book, Pages of Mortal King Leo. And I'm trying to go back through and add things and change things and make them better for the second editions. Those are the only two books I'm hoping to ever have to do second editions to. So the rest of my series is good. But we'll see how that goes. Right now, I'm at a very critical part in the book where a tragedy strikes, and I'm really hoping that it goes better, and it kind of gives people a little bit of tear jerking, because that's what I want. Like, I want people to, the hearts of thunder and stuff, and be like, no, don't do that. That's my goal. I can't say it will, but that's my goal at least. But definitely working on that more. This podcast is going to be short today because of, obviously, I got to get some other stuff done. And I do apologize for anybody that does listening, and that, you guys look forward to my podcast every week. I do hope that you go out, enjoy a nice, cup of tea, maybe pick up a new hobby. I know I tried crocheting and knitting, so that's a new hobby I picked up. Like I said, I've also got my goat lotion that's coming in, but I'm also getting ready for Christmas and my Yule, because, the winter solstice is a very crucial part for me. And like I said, just go do something nice for yourself. Go visit a friend you haven't heard in a while. Find a hobby that you both enjoy, or maybe take up a new class. But with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy your day, and I do apologize for the short podcast. And I will catch you next Friday, hopefully with a longer one. Thank you, and have an awesome day, because you're awesome. Bye-bye.